Hello my friends and welcome. We have some urgent news that are coming from the Kherson Oblast. It seems like Ukrainian army finally crossed the Dnieper River in Antonovsky Bridge area. I have received the information about the case yesterday, but finally today we have the video confirmation about the actual fighting between Ukrainian soldiers and the Russian groups in Oleshki. The video confirmation comes from the Russian side because Ukraine wants to make this operation as secret as possible, but finally we have this video in the media resources. Russia sent the BTR-82 that was fighting against Ukrainian forces in that area. Probably we have just infantry over there. This is the Russian BTR and those are the Russian soldiers. The video stopped and we don't see the outcome of this battle. I will publish the full information on my Telegram channel. By the way, my friends, we're soon gonna reach 200,000 subscribers on Telegram. It's awesome. I use it as my alternate resource and I constantly publish the latest news on my Telegram page, so you may find it in the video description just below. Again, we have this video. Some sort of the boat goes from one shore to another, from Ukrainian side to the Russian controlled territory, and you can see probably it is the Ukrainian infantry. They are using the rubber boats or simple wooden boats and they are going somewhere in that area, and probably after it they were attacked by the Russian BTR. Later on, Russia even launched the artillery attack, but there were no any casualties spotted on the video that they provided. If Ukraine continued to send more reinforcements to that area, probably there are some chances that our guys took the part of the other shore. For the obvious reason, Russia will not show you this in their videos. They only show their mighty power, how they fire somewhere, how they use artillery. On the other hand, the Ukrainian army is not willing to publish any videos on internet for now because they want to keep this operation a secret one. According to the latest information, this could be the artillery fire from the Ukrainian side before the landing of Ukrainian forces. Alright, now I'm checking the Russian military bloggers. What do they say from that particular place? They say that around 50 Ukrainian soldiers landed on the other shore near to Antonovsky Bridge. The landing operation is ongoing for 3 consecutive days. Because of the artillery fire from the Ukrainian side, Russian forces got losses and were forced to retreat from the territory near to the river. The Ukrainian side sends more people and more supplies to the territory. Even the heavy ammunition is used. The Russian artillery is unable to target precisely the boats of Ukrainian army because they are fast and now the river is narrow. The Ukrainian group started to use the radio interference devices, so we are unable to launch FPV drones or standard drones. Russians say that they requested the aviation support, but their messages went without any reply from command. The battle actions of the Russian army are now impossible because that will cause the response from the Ukrainian artillery, and the enemy is now able to hide in the bridge construction mostly. For the enemy, they say the Ukrainian side, we ask urgently to use the special aviation bombs against the assaulting forces of Ukraine near to Antonovsky Bridge from both of the sides. Well, at least we have some sort of the confirmation about this special operation conducted by Ukrainian forces, and luckily it's ongoing more or less successfully from what I was able to read you. But we also have the good news coming from the other parts of the front lines. For example, near to Robotine, the Ukrainian army moved a little, so it was yesterday and it is today. We took control over those fields, some of the tree lines, and we are coming closer to Robotine. It's very important since there's the road that goes all the way to Tokmak. As for this region, there are no any changes for today, there were yesterday, and let's go to the Bakhmut area because there are some of the changes. For example, on the south part near to Kurdymovka it was yesterday, and it is today quite a big advancement of Ukrainian army. The 3rd Assault Brigade is performing their best job on the south direction from the Bakhmut. Then we'll have Kurdymovka under control. The next step could be Andriivka, and after it Opetne. It could be the situation for Klishivka encirclement. And our guys also moved closer to Klishivka itself, and on the north part we moved as well towards the Bakhmut city. It's a very important part, but still Ukrainian army is unable to get control over this very important hill, but it will be very soon. So as you can see, we have awesome news coming from the front lines. Yes, it's not that large, big assault as it was last year in the Kharkiv region, for example, or in the Kherson, because the Russian army wasn't ready for that. They just run away, and here they were forced to leave the Kherson area. But now they are getting ready, they got ready already, and our job is to push them out little by little. Now it is time for Ukraine to take the ground. President Zelensky confirmed that we have some of the issues with the minefields and with all of those defense lines that Russia created, but nevertheless he said that he is quite optimistic about the future Ukrainian counterattack. He said that it is not the main counterattack, it's the main preparation for the counterattack, the big strike of a Ukrainian army still to come. According to the Ukrainian intelligence chief Budanov, Russia mined the reactors themselves, 4 out of 6. They also put the big tracks near to those buildings fully loaded with mines. Honestly, I believe Budanov more than the International Atomic Agency, and Zelensky spread this information today with allies. So we urgently need to get the control over this nuclear power plant station. This is the south part of the front lines. Russia gathered 3 of the Grad rocket artillery systems at the same place. The Ukrainian surveillance spotted them, and we used the HIMARS rocket artillery system, or probably it could be the artillery shell, but very powerful. The explosion was a little bit further away from the tracks and they got damaged. There were 2 of the explosions, and because of the damaged rockets, those Grads started to launch the rockets to some place, obviously without any sort of the control. I guess Russia is not able to use them any longer. More about the Russian losses, and here we're going to speak about the yesterday's event, about the failed attempt of Prigozhin to take power in Russia, or what he wanted really. So this is the Ural of the Wagner army. There are some of the battles, some of the supplies. As you can see, it was just demolished by the helicopter strike. 1 more vehicle was destroyed by the helicopter, but that vehicle was just a pickup with a turret, so nothing special. This one is really big supply Ural. But the Russian regular army also got losses. Yesterday I told you about the 5 helicopters and one of the Ilyushin-18 airplane. Well, it's been confirmed that Ilyushin-22 was shot down. We have even the photo confirmation and video from the place. Probably you'll see the remains. Here you can clearly see the turboprop engines. Ilyushin-22 is the modification of Ilyushin-18. That is why the information was coming about the Ilyushin-18. The 22 modification has the surveillance equipment, and also it is the command spot for the Russian generals. It was confirmed that 10 crew members were on board, and I think that there could be some of the Russian generals, because this airplane is not the ordinary one. This is the tail, you can clearly see it's not the BBC, it's VVS. The Russian letters have different spelling, so it's the Air Force of the Russian Federation. Even though those airplanes are really old, but Russian Air Force have them in their fleet. Also, United States Army has the very old airplanes, especially surveillance airplanes, in their fleet. Even my grandpa was flying Ilyushin 18 and also Antonov 12. The Institute of the War Researches said that probably Prigozhin wanted to secure his life and the Wagner army because he was pressed a lot from Shoigu and Gerasimov. He tried to contact Putin directly, but all of his attempts were blocked. That's why he started his military parade, but Putin supported Shoigu and Gerasimov. Prigozhin understood that he has little chances to succeed, and really he doesn't want to get rid of Putin. They were together for such a long time, and now Prigozhin just flushed himself and also the Wagner army, and now he will be in Belarus. For how long, no one knows. By the way, there is no contact with Prigozhin any longer since he left Rostov. As you know, Wagner took control over the military airfield in Rostov, and they robbed the Russian pilots. They've took their belongings and left the airfield, but also they left some of the ammunition. Shoigu, where is the ammunition? The State Secretary Blinken today said that Putin will respond for many things in nearby weeks and months. He also said that the situation in Russia with this military coup is still in development state. So probably he knows more than we do. One of the British generals said that Prigozhin will probably try to get Kiev from the Belarus territory. Honestly, I don't think that this version is possible. Kiev is not the Moscow. We keep lots of our forces on the north part of Kiev. Now Wagners are mostly demoralized with the action of their leader, so they will for sure do not conduct this operation. It would be just a suicide mission for Wagner. Probably you remember those guys from one of my videos. They supported Prigozhin and they say that they are joining the Wagner army in their attempt to get control over the Moscow parliament or something. Now they're very disappointed and angry, and many people actually in Russia like that. According to some leaks from the Kremlin, Shoigu will finally resign and his place will be taken by Dumin. Dumin is the ex-security manager of Putin. Now he's the governor of Tula Oblast, so very loyal figure for Putin. Plus, according to the leaks, he met yesterday with Prigozhin personally, and they finally discussed the deal. The Wagner-affiliated Telegram channels posted this picture. Plans needs silence. So they say that there is some sort of the plan from Prigozhin. Well, we'll see it in the nearby future. Yesterday, the American journalist asked Prigozhin in Rostov what is the result of his march. Prigozhin said that everything is good, we refreshed everyone. I guess our guys finally uncovered the plan of Prigozhin. He went to Ukraine to prepare for the massive attack on Moscow again. At least he was spotted on one of the benches in Kiev. The CNN resource says that Prigozhin will lose his life because of his attempted military coup. Plus, Wagner will be just dismissed as the private army and will be integrated into the Russian army. Well, we'll see how it happens in the future. The British intelligence reports that the assault actions of Ukrainian army intensified a lot during the recent 3 days. They're speaking about the gradual but steady tactical progress in key areas. Ukraine signed the agreement with Germany to obtain 45 more Gepard air defense tanks till the end of this year. The main problem for this air defense vehicle was the ammunition. Well, the ammunition for this machine is produced in Switzerland. Switzerland is the neutral country. However, probably it will supply ammunition to Germany and Germany will supply it to Ukraine, if the Swiss parliament will vote for it. Nevertheless, Germany also started the production of the ammunition for the Gepard tank massively. As you can see, there are two way outs for this problem. That is why we're gonna obtain many more of those vehicles in Ukrainian army, because they are very effective against the Shahid drones or helicopters or any kind of the low-flying air machines. Alright, probably my final word about the failed attempted military coup in Russia. The Russian government, the Russian president, the Russian system doesn't work. You may destroy Russian helicopters, airplanes. By the way, it's the biggest loss of the Russian aviation since the Second World War per single day. 15 crew members confirmed to lose their life because of this failed attempt of the military coup. In the morning, Putin says that they will deal with rebels. They betrayed Russia, they betrayed himself. At the evening, everything is good. Prigozhin is free to go, as well as many of the Wagner soldiers. At the same time, if some Russian says something about the Russian Defense Ministry, Russian army, they may get many years in prison. The law is not working, the system is not working. Putin is out of control of his army. By the way, we haven't seen Shoigu for recent 2 days. And now even Prigozhin disappeared. This system in Russia cannot work for a very long time. This was the first call for the collapse of the nowadays Russian Empire. And Ukraine, as you can see, plays a great historical role in that. So what happened in Russia yesterday is actually a very positive sign for us, and maybe even positive sign for Russians. Because after all, really, they don't need this empire. It's their prison. And now please press the like to this video. Also, if you want to support my job, there are some